Imagine, if you will, a world where tradition clashes with modern ambition. David, a self-made billionaire in his late 30s, found himself at a crossroads. Not one of his own choosing. Seated at an impossibly long dining table, a cold steak lay untouched before him, a symbol of the life he felt was being devoured. His father, a man of granite composure, and his mother, with her ever-watchful eyes, were across from him, the architects of this unwelcome twist in his life, an arranged marriage.
This isn't happening. Not in this day and age. Not to me. My words hung in the air, heavy with disbelief. They spoke of family, of legacy, of a business partnership masked as a union. But all I heard was a sentence being passed, robbing me of a future I thought was mine to write. And the bride, a woman hidden behind a veil, a ghost in my future.
The terms were clear. The family's business empire hinged on this union with a woman named Anna Whitman. But there was a catch. Anna refused to show her face, choosing to remain behind a veil. His mother insisted Anna was private, but David saw it as a symbol of a life devoid of genuine connection, a silent protest, or perhaps a shield concealing a deep insecurity. The thought irked him.
I wanted to know why. Why me? Why this archaic ritual? And why the veil? It felt like a charade, a carefully orchestrated performance, where I was playing a role against my will. What are you hiding? I remember thinking, a silent challenge hanging in the sterile air of that dining room.
The next evening, David met Anna for the first time. She was graceful, poised, and entirely hidden behind her veil. Her eyes, a startling shade of gray, were the only part of her visible, and they seemed to hold a depth that unnerved him. He felt a strange mix of annoyance and curiosity, a feeling that would continue to grow slowly, like a vine seeking the sun. The weeks leading to the wedding were a dance of tension, awkward silences, and fleeting moments of unexpected connection. David tried to keep Anna at arm's length, but her quiet intelligence and surprising business acumen kept drawing him back in. He noticed her interactions with his staff, the quiet dignity with which she handled herself, the strategic thinking that even he, with all his years of experience, had to acknowledge. It was all unexpected. On their wedding day, Anna walked down the aisle, shrouded in white and mystery. The ceremony felt distant, devoid of emotion, and yet something shifted in David that day. He was beginning to see that Anna was more than just a figurehead in this arranged marriage, that behind the veil was a person of unexpected complexity. His perspective began to change, a subtle shift in his perception. The tension reached its peak the night of their wedding. David, raw with frustration, finally confronted her. "Why?" he demanded, his voice tight. "Why won't you let me see you?" Anna's reply was soft, but resolute. When the time is right, a simple answer that only fueled his confusion. Days turned into weeks, and David found himself observing Anna, not just as an enigma, but as a woman with her own thoughts, her own values, her own reasons for existing. He saw her consulting with his team, providing insight that led to a breakthrough business deal. He saw her warm, genuine smile with the staff. He heard her laugh from the kitchen. There was a depth to her that seemed to contradict the image he had created for her. One evening, David's anger finally boiled over. He accused her of hiding, of using the veil as a shield. Anna, for the first time, showed a flicker of vulnerability. "I wanted you to see me for who I am," she said softly, "not for what I look like." Her words struck David like a revelation. He had been so focused on what she wasn't showing him that he had failed to see who she truly was. The veil, he began to realize, wasn't a barrier, but a mirror reflecting his own prejudices and assumptions. It forced him to look beyond the surface and confront his own shallowness. He realized he had been so caught up in the transaction of the marriage that he'd failed to see the person he was marrying. David apologized, and Anna offered forgiveness. The veil remained, but its significance had changed. It was no longer a symbol of division, but a reminder of the journey they had embarked on together. He began to make a conscious effort to see her, to listen to her, and to appreciate her not just as his wife, but as a partner in life and in business. David started seeking her advice, incorporating her strategic input, and respecting her as an equal. And with every day, a genuine love bloomed from this unusual arrangement. David's eyes began to see her beyond the veil. He saw intelligence, compassion, and quiet strength. The climax came during a grand gathering. As the guests murmured and questioned her absence, Anna finally appeared without her veil. Her beauty was striking, but it wasn't her physical appearance that captivated the room. It was her courage and her words.
I wore the veil because I wanted to be seen for who I am, not for what I look like. Too often we judge by appearances. I needed to know if he could see beyond the surface.
The room erupted in applause. David, captivated by her grace and honesty, stepped forward and took her hand. The love that they had both been denying was finally displayed. The veil that had been a symbol of distance had become a symbol of the beautiful journey they had begun. In the end, David learned a profound lesson. True connection isn't about seeing, but about understanding. It's about looking beyond the surface, about embracing the unexpected, and allowing ourselves to grow through difficult experiences. Anna's veil had forced him to see that life, like love, can't be prepackaged or controlled. And sometimes, the greatest treasures are hidden not by veils, but by our own blind spots. If this story touched your heart, consider how you might be judging a situation or person without truly seeing them. Like and share this story, and subscribe for more tales that will stir your soul. Until next time, look beyond the surface.